In 2004, Washington-based attorney Andrew D. Basiago began telling his story of a top-secret organization called Project Pegasus. Although he was only 7 years old at the time, Basiago claims he had, from 1968 to 1972, participated in a number of bizarre experiments that took him on journeys through time, space, and potentially into parallel universes. Project Pegasus was the classified, defense-related research and development program under the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, in which the U.S. defense technical community achieved time travel on behalf of the U.S. government, the real Philadelphia experiment. Project Pegasus mission statement: the mission of Project Pegasus was to study the effects of time travel and teleportation on children, as well as to relay important information about past and future events to the U.S. President, intelligence community, and military. U.S. government ran a clandestine operation called Project Pegasus. The program led to the successful development of a number of highly advanced technologies allowing for teleportation, physical time travel, and holographic time travel. He claims the program was run jointly by the CIA and DARPA, and was used to contact former presidents, teleport to Mars, and maintain a rapport with extraterrestrials. Beginning when he was just a child, Basiago was selected from a group of psychically gifted children to become a time-traveling liaison who would go on to meet historical and future dignitaries, as well as various extraterrestrial entities. Basiago says his father had previously worked for the Ralph M. Parsons Engineering Corporation, where he helped develop the technology. When Basiago was brought to participate in his first jump, he says his father had already been time-traveling for years at the Curtiss-Wright Corporation in New Jersey. It was here where he was first exposed to the portal he would later use to teleport through time and space. The portal itself, Basiago describes as two parenthesis-shaped booms that were 8 feet tall and spaced about 10 feet apart. He describes the computer configuration from which the portal was being controlled as rudimentary and plugged into the wall with a power cord that would look more fitting if it led to a lathe or drill press, ironic for a machine capable of tearing the space-time continuum. Andrew Basiago Gettysburg jump: upon activation, this time-traversing machine created a vortal tunnel from radiant energy that was capable of bending the fabric of reality. This radiant energy was discovered by Nikola Tesla, whose schematic was posthumously discovered by the government in his New York apartment in 1943. The technology was parlayed into what Basiago calls a plasma confinement chamber, which a user jumps into before being transported to a different moment or place in time. His first journey teleported him to the state capital of New Mexico, though he remained in the same time period. Later in his life he says he was able to corroborate the Capitol building as a common location involved in the program from a woman who said she saw people materialize there. He continued this training by traveling just a few hours back in time to get used to the sensation. Eventually, he would travel back to Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, Washington's tent during the Revolutionary War, and even to the time of Jesus. He says the government had a desire to check the veracity of the historical accounts of these three figures, due to their significance and the fact that they have been written about extensively. Basiago says he also traveled to the future, to the year 2045, where he was transported to a building made of emerald and tungsten steel. There he was given a miniature canister of microfilm to be brought back to the 70s, which contained a wealth of knowledge of every historical event up until then. Apparently, not everything is digitized in the future. You may have heard about Basiago not too long ago, when he made waves in the media claiming Barack Obama had been a part of the same teleportation/time travel program as he. This even solicited a response from the White House, which adamantly denied the claim, though Basiago maintains his position. According to Basiago, Obama went by the name Barry Soetoro and was initially teleported to Mars at the age of 19. Soetoro was sent on his interplanetary mission to communicate with Martian animals and the extraterrestrials living on the Red Planet. He claimed in a 2012 speech that he has definitive photographic evidence of intelligent life there from a picture of a Martian purportedly carving a rock with a handsaw on the planet's surface. This past election, Basiago unfortunately didn't make it past the primaries, though he has future knowledge that sometime between now and 2028, he will either be elected president or vice president. He says this information was divulged to him from members with career associations in the CIA. In the 2016 election, Basiago was unable to get his name on the ballot in all 50 states due to the exorbitant cost of running in a presidential election. He says it would have cost $5 million and he couldn't come up with the money, therefore he ran as an independent, write-in candidate. Basiago has another decade to fulfill his prophecy of landing in one of the top 2 positions in the White House, with his next campaign poised for the 2020 election. Unlike other candidates, Basiago has posted a very detailed layout of his presidential platform and the 100 policies he intends to enact once he is elected. These unwavering guidelines promise to usher in a new era of truth, reform, and innovation in America. Much of this platform is predicated on progressive policies like investing in public education, green energy, net neutrality, and religious tolerance. Judging his candidacy on these aspects alone, he might fit in with most far-left, progressive ideologies. Though, the primary pillars of his candidacy are set on revealing what he believes to be government's biggest secret, time travel. The first measure Basiago might enact upon taking office, declassify and reveal all technology related to quantum transportation and America's history of time travel technology. This would include the chronovisor, the holographic teleportation machine he says he used to speak to George Washington. Although he says time travel for every citizen would create a universe way too chaotic, Basiago believes everyone should have access to teleportation. It would solve many of our transportation shortcomings. Next up, presidential honesty. Basiago wants all former presidents who are still alive to come forth and admit they were given previous knowledge of their destinies. They all knew they were picked specifically to become president, so it's time for them to come clean. The government would also have to disclose to the American public that they've been blinded from an ongoing and long-standing extraterrestrial presence, which began when we first developed and used atomic weapons. According to Basiago, the use of atomic weapons creates a tear in the fabric of space-time, of which there is nothing worse we could be doing to the universe in the eyes of extraterrestrial civilizations. Could Basiago really have time traveled throughout history via a clandestine government program called Project Pegasus? We may never know. But in today's political climate, there have been a number of unforeseen revelations and disclosures that might have seemed absurd in the past. If we vote Andy 2020, we may find out.
If you like this video, please click the bell icon and subscribe.